Straya! How are you going? How you going? You right? You should be. Why is that, Jim? Well, the NBA finals are done. Basically, right? Jeez. No, we've still got a game 6 to go, but geez, we're going to talk about this pretty in depth today. It is Tuesday, June 17. I'm your host, James Clements, here in Larry Armour Studios with the Chockers NBA Straya, wrapping up a wildly interesting swings and roundabouts Indy Delhi, Johnny Furphy, J-Dub dominating Shockers Game 5. It had it all. So we're going to wrap all that up for you with the old, that's not a knife, old mate, no mate, Spud of the night, better than Lonzo Ball. We've got some good yeah-nahs. We've got an unpopular opinion of the day. We've got Outback Takehouse where we're serving up a flame grill take. And of course, there's an Andrew Gaze Graham Mamba Award for Outstanding Achievement in the Field of Excellence. Plenty of stuff to dig into. We'll do a quick preview for Game 6 as well, but we'll do a preview show properly for that on Thursday, because it's on Friday, so why not? Well, without further ado then, let's get into it. Wrap up a crazy Game 5. Let's go!
This is Josh Giddey.
G'day, this is Andrew Gaze.
This is Jack White.
This is Joe Ingles.
This is Darcy Daniels.
This is Chris Anstey.
This is Matthew Delvedova.
This is Shane Hill.
You're listening to NBA Australia.
And you're listening to NBA Australia.
And you're listening to NBA Straya.
And you're listening to NBA Straya.
And you're listening to NBA Australia.
You're listening to NBA Australia.
And you're listening and watching NBA Straya.
This is NBA Australia. Let's do it.
Watch out for the shark attack!
You better. Well, you better watch out for the paparazzi attack if you're Stephen A. Smith. Seriously, him playing solitaire, I can't get over it. It's like the game's going on, and he's playing solitaire on his phone. What a world. No wonder most of his shit is completely fucking ass backwards and he's a moron.
This is horrible! There's no other way to put it!
No fooling. Hey, let's start today's show, though, with the way we start every show here at NBA Australia, usually with Jim having a whinge, but also the daily whip around. Yeah, there you go. Not much to really whinge about at the moment. I think I mentioned this in yesterday's show. I had the Squids. So Community Cup on Sunday, I had the two Squids with me in that morning, right? We're at the playground and on the whirly thingy. You know, you spin them around, the kids are like, dizzy, and they fucking lose it. They come off like they're old man after about 14 tins, just fucking stumbling sideways, falling on their ass. Anyway, so the oldest one's on it. He's spinning around. He's like, Dad, faster. So I push it faster. And of course, he loses all equilibrium and sort of just goes off. But first, he's like, his fucking giant hard scone cannons into my knee. And I'm like, oh God, there goes the old man's ACL. Jesus. So it's been pretty fucking painful the last 2 days, but you know, keeping on. Otherwise, I'm all good. Feeling good, feeling great. It's my birthday at the end of this weekend. We got Game 6 on my birthday. Love a good Game 7 on my birthday, however. That was always fun. That was 2016, I think. We got the Game 7 of Cavs. That's right, Cleveland versus Warriors, which was amazing. So anyway, good week ahead. Otherwise, how about some news? Kevin Durant. Wow, there's just so much chatter out there for a fucking 37-year-old scoring machine who can't even lift a shit team like Phoenix into a playoff spot. You know, it's one of those things. There's just so much fucking noise. It's like, could he be the piece that puts one of these other teams over the top? Yeah, nah. Yes, but it has to be the right team. One of those teams, apparently the Rockets, the Houston Rockets, have sent a firm offer. I love that, a firm offer. It's not our soft, squishy offer. It's our firm offer. Just nice and firm. Apparently Phoenix was underwhelmed with the valuation of their Suns all-star forward. Yeah, no shit. It's called fucking haggling. What are we doing here? It's like, yes, negotiating. You don't go, oh, well, that offer seems fair. I'll just take that. What are you doing? This is obviously the Suns going, give us pick number 10. And I want Jabari or Jalen Green as well. One of those two. Maybe both. Who knows? Otherwise, apparently he's got no desire to be in Minnesota and he would like to be in San Antonio. So, sure. I'd also agree with not wanting to be in Minnesota. Do you know how fucking cold it gets up there? Fuck that. KD's 37. You got those old ass bones, all those surgeries you've had. Fuck the cold. He's going to go to Miami because it's warm. Maybe Houston as well. It gets so fucking humid there. I don't think... I've been, I've traveled a bit. It's quite... the humidity I experienced in Houston was unlike any other sort of humidity I think I'd ever had before too. It was fucked. So, I don't know. Yeah, Austin, San Antonio, it's a decent heat too. I don't know. But Miami, it seems pretty fucking nice, so wouldn't be surprised if he just ends up there. Either way, KD, Spurs, Rockets, Heat, who fucking knows? Does he put any of them over the top? He definitely helps Houston. Minnesota probably, but it just feels like it's going to be really hard for them to get that deal done. Otherwise, LeBron, there's kind of like a little undercurrent of like chatter about LeBron because he hasn't done his big sort of news dump, which is what he usually does. LeBron always somehow during the offseason manages to take away like the focus from the finals for like a little bit of a news cycle with just something. Like it's LeBron's way of going, please pay attention to me. Please, 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 please. This year there's not been much. I don't know. It's a bit weird. So maybe in the next 2 days we'll get something pretty fucking drastic. LeBron's going back to Cleveland. Anyway, Orlando was the other little bit of news after the Desmond Bane trade from yesterday. They've had to decline their team options for Gary Harris and Corey Joseph as part of the trade to essentially make it all happen. So no real big sort of problems there, but you sort of have that moment of like Orlando going, Jesus Christ. So getting Desmond Bane in exchange now for KCP, Cole Anthony, 4 picks, having to decline an option on Gary Harris and Corey Joseph. So now suddenly you got to build a bit more of a roster because you just lost 4 dudes. But anyway, and the other little bit of news, little bit. The finals today. If you were watching on the broadcast, you might have seen that they did the player intros, which was kind of cool. Adam Silver, i.e. the world's just most fucking terminally online sports commissioner, who's like, I think there's a pretty good idea there on NBA Twitter, and just does it, except for, giving me back my beloved Sonics. They put the starting lineup intros back on TV, which is kind of cool. And this has been a fucking bugbear of mine for ages, right? Over the years. Not showcasing your product the correct fucking way just does my goddamn head in. The finals they should look special. They should look awesome. They should have the absolute very fucking best. And it feels like the NBA has half-assed it for fucking years. Like, it literally took them in Game 2 to put the fucking, project the Larry O'Brien and the cursive finals onto the court digitally. Because we all arced up and went, what are you doing? This looks like a fucking January fucking 18th game. This is bullshit. And they finally figured out, oh, God, maybe we should make the NBA finals look interesting and different and special. Fucking morons. Anyway, there you go. So we had the intros. OKC, how do they not just have them all come out to Thunderstruck? Like, that's A, one of the great intro songs. B, what the fuck? Come on, OKC. Sort your shit out. Anyway, let's wrap up Game 5. Game wrap. That's right, game wrap. Game 5 of the NBA Finals. Finals. What a game it was. OKC win it. 120-109. Your mate Jim, as mentioned on yesterday's show and on this morning's thing, we had Indy plus 9.5. Once again, I would like to thank Benny Mathurin for completely fucking an Indiana Pacers cover at the very end of a game. Last game, it was the too stupid away from the ball inbound fouls that he committed, which pushed it towards OKC. And then again today, he was just driving to the basket and had one final turnover, so they lose by 11 rather than 9. Thanks, Benny Mathurin. Jesus! But how good was it to see Johnny Tins Furphy out there? Fucking awesome, Jim. You're bloody right. But it was a weird game, right? And it sort of feels like it's not so much that OKC has solved Indiana insofar as Indy can't solve OKC back, if that makes sense, right? Because we know that OKC's defense is absolutely off chops. Off chops. And they've also just got a dude named fucking Lou Dort on their team. And he has just ruined Tyrese Haliburton's life. And now Haliburton is injured. And as I said at the top, it feels like this is now kind of done, doesn't it? Like the Pacers had a really awesome, spirited fight back in that fourth quarter. Haliburton was back on there and it was fucking cooked. He's limited. They can't do anything. It was an interesting point, I think, into the halftime break, where Perk was even like, here go east, west, here go north, south. It's like, I don't want to give you credit for a good call there, Perk, but Haliburton was not looking at the basket kind of ever. He had the first ever playoff game he's had in his career without scoring a single field goal. But from the very get-go, I've talked time and time again throughout this series about how Indy, when trying to assert themselves on this game and play the way they want to, they look awesome. When they're able to do that, it's because Haliburton's flying around causing all sorts of havoc. Nembhard and Naismith are just sort of filling in lanes and causing all sorts of havoc themselves. They've got Siakam as a release valve. You've got Miles Turner doing stuff. And they just, again, weren't able to do that kind of ever in this game, right? Like, even from the very get-go, like the first quarter started, we still had OKC with their double big lineup, and it kind of worked, right? Like, Chet was looking pretty good. Hartenstein, was looking pretty good as well. And Indy just couldn't get into the game because OKC's defense was so fucking good. They just kept turning the ball over. And this is it. You've suddenly just got another empty possession if you're Indy. And OKC was so fucking good on offense today. As I said on the video this morning and on yesterday's show, they'll hit threes. They did. The thing is, Indy, they can keep pace with you. The Pacers, yes. But if Indy keep giving you the ball back, you can't keep up because you aren't taking enough fucking shots. Like, this is just real simple shit. And it was right there from the get-go, right? So I think Nembhard missed a three and a layup early on in the first quarter, and they burned all the shot clock for both. I think it was for both of them. And like, there's a rushed three, and it's horrible. You've got Rick Carlisle getting a technical for the no call on Nembhard for that layup that he missed. And suddenly they're down 8. There's another Indy turnover, and you're like, Jesus. It was 5 early turnovers to the Pacers, and they'd given up a bunch of offensive rebounds too. Siakam couldn't dribble without being attacked early on. He had 3 turnovers really quickly. Wiggins starts hitting threes, and you're like, oh, geez. Cason Wallace starts hitting threes. You get this, and like a really dumb Tony Bradley foul. And it's like, holy crap. This could get ugly real quick. But Mathurin hit a 3 early on, which might have been the worst thing that happened because Benny Mathurin started feeling it and then only hit one other shot the rest of the fucking game. But 7 turnovers in the first quarter for Indy was too much. They're down 10. And it's just, they were clawing and scrapping the entire game. They never let it get too dire, where it was like 20 plus points or whatever. But it always sort of hovered around that 14, 16, 12 point mark. And it took them until the fourth quarter to really start eating into it properly. And by then it was almost too late, right? So you're down 2 early. You're in the second quarter. Wiggins is hitting threes. TJ McConnell hits a 3 as well. You're like, Jesus, all right. But they're sort of just hanging around. They get it down to sort of 8. Naismith hits a 3 as well. And you're like, oh, look out, look out. And then J-Dub really starts kicking it into gear. They're up 13. He's just hitting these insane lefty runners. He's hitting threes. And it's just absolutely brutal. The biggest one, I think, in the first half was I think Indy had 3 tries on 1 possession, right? They get a couple of offensive rebounds. It goes up the other way. J-Dub just hits a 3. And you're like, oh, fuck. 16-point game. And you're like, Jesus Christ, 52-36, I think it was at that point. They go up 18, I think at one point in there too. And I don't know, just Indy couldn't find that sort of sense of composure. Everything felt scrambled. And then on defense as well, Chet was getting these offensive rebounds, causing all sorts of fucking havoc. And you've got Indy on the other end, sort of just like either at the very end of the shot clock or just turning the fucking ball over, right? You got Mathurin missing free throws again. You've just got so many missed opportunities for Indy in that first half. It's a 13-point game with OKC having had 15 points off turnovers in the first half. Like, it was crazy. They finish up with a Case and Wallace 3. It's 59-43. Mathurin gets a little layup. It's 59-45 at the half. And it was just a really just dominating performance by OKC. They put Indy to the sword. It was 16 assists for OKC and 8 made threes in the first half alone. In the entirety of Game 4, they had 11 assists total and those 3 made threes, you might remember. So it was 12-0 on fast break points as well. OKC were getting these steals, getting out in transition. It was 15-1 points off turnovers. It was 10 turnovers to 4 in favor of OKC. OKC were just fucking dominating, right? J-Dub had 16, 3 and 3 at the half. Indy was shooting 33%. SJ was just sort of cruising along 13 and 5, looking really good. The playmaking was right there. Because his teammates were hitting fucking shots, guess what? His assists were there as well. And, I mean, the second half, the third, they sort of just got, like, into the mud a little bit, going back and forth. They started trading buckets. Naismith hits a 3. It's an 11-point game as well. The offense for Indy was moving a little bit better at the start of the third quarter, but then they have, like, Dort banking in a 3. Miles Turner hits a 3, and they just, there were so many weird moments where, like, Siakam would be playing for a foul, doesn't get a call. And then suddenly they go up the other way and it's like J-Dub just like making a really fucking tough shot. And that's so much of this game where J-Dub was just fucking incredible at every moment, ramming home any sort of advantage that OKC had, right? Like, Indy would do something stupid to be the turnover, a bad shot, just throwing up some sort of junk. And at the other end, J-Dub would be like, that was cool. What you guys did, I'm just going to make it hurt even more. Bang. There's these moments where it's still like, 12-point game. J-Dub turns around and hits a 3. Siakam gets a turnover. And it's like, oh, God, here we go. Botched alley-oop. We're going back into it. Haliburton gets the line. He finally scores. It's 70-59. And Indy at this point just couldn't get it back under 10 points, right? They had the board off an SGA miss. There's a foul against Turner. Hartenstein gets the board, though. There's another loose ball foul against Indy. And you're just like, can you just get the rebound? Stop fucking fouling. They know with 19 offensive rebounds to Indy. It is crazy. Mathurin keeps getting blocked in the paint. Toppin's missing threes again. J-Dub just keeps scoring. And then, the little ray of light. TJ McConnell. Indy Delhi. Absolutely crazy fucking run for this third quarter, where he just puts it on his own back, does Indy Delhi, and just starts hitting shots. 4 minutes to go. It's a 7-point game. He has almost dragged them back into this game by himself, 75-68. Toppin as well sort of comes with him. It's a 6-point game. Indy just need to make sure they close out this third quarter like a really, really sort of strong, keeping on a 10-point vibe. And they did. TJ McConnell hits his 3. No, his foot's on the line. Brutal. 78-72. SGA scores again, but Toppin scores. McConnell gets this bullshit loose ball foul that's like the jump ball thing. That was fucking stupid. TJ goes again. He's got 15 points. He's their leading scorer in halfway through the third quarter. It's a 5-point game. Mathurin then just has this horrible 3 that just sucks the air out of his fucking Pacers teammates. But TJ just goes back up, gets an and 1. It's a 6-point game still. They steal the inbound, but fuck up the possession. So it goes from like 85-79. It could have been a 4-point game. J-Dub banks in a shot. It's 87-79 going into the fourth quarter. TJ McConnell had 13 points in the third quarter alone. Kept them in the game. They forced 6 OKC turnovers in the third quarter. And we're back on, boys. Everything's fine. Indy, here we go. They open the fourth quarter with a Siakam 3. It's a 5-point game. OKC score, you got a TJ McConnell travel. Wiggins hits a 3. It's massive. That's his 4th 3. It's 92-82, just like that. Back out to 10 points. You're like, oh, fuck, here we go. But then, boom. Siakam gets into the paint. 8-point game. OKC turnover, like there's a turnover after they have a challenge. Siakam in the paint again. It's a 6-point game. SGA gets blocked by Siakam. Wiggins misses a 3. Siakam runs it out. Gets fouled. Chance to cut it to 4. It's a 94-90 game. Look at this. Siakam's already got 9 points in the 4th quarter. J-Dub goes 1 of 2 at the line. It's a 5-point game. 9 minutes to go. Hartenstein gets the free throw miss. Ugh. He gets fouled again. But Nembhard, doing a pretty good job at this point against SGA. Fighting over all these screens. Forces a 3-point miss from SGA. Siakam, 3. Here we go. It's a 2-point game. Seriously, it's a 2-point game. After all of this, Indy have managed to do the damn thing, get it down to a 2-point game. And then it all goes completely fucking squirrely. How is this? After it goes 95-93 with 8:13 left in this game, OKC miss, get the offensive rebound. They miss, they get the offensive rebound again. J-Dub hits a 3. Indy turn it over. OKC gets a Case and Wallace dunk. Indy miss, they get the free throws, offer an offensive rebound though. Dort hits a 3. Haliburton gets free throws up the other end. J-Dub hits this beautiful sweeping lefty layup. Indy turn it over. J-Dub gets another layup. Indy turn it over. J-Dub gets free throws. Indy turn it over. SJ hits some free throws and bang, that's the game. It's 113-97. There's still 5 minutes left, but there was an 18-4 run in 3 minutes and 8 seconds of game time. Oh boy, there was just the fucking turnovers. Absolute, like literally my notes are J-Dub, massive tough buckets, another horrible Nembhard turnover, SGA and 1. Another horrible turnover, J-Dub throws it in. Another horrible turnover, Naismith foul. Another horrible turnover, J-Dub to SGA free throws, 113-97, bang, pack her up boys, you're done. Right? Like Siakam breaks it all up, finally gets a bucket. SGA misses. They get this top and open. You're like, there's still a bit of a chance. 101, 118, 113. Dort hits another 3. And you're like, are you fucking serious? Naismith hits a 3 straight back. And you're like, ooh, Naismith has been pretty bloody good. Still a 12-point game. J-Dub. Oh, Nembhard gets blocked. And it's just the capper and a horrible end of the game for Nembhard, who just kept throwing the ball away, couldn't do anything. At this point, you're just like, Indy can't dribble or pass. Like they're fucked. Toppin goes 1 or 2 at the free throw line. It's 118-105, 3 minutes 15 left. They get this Caruso offensive rebound from a missed 3 on SGA. SGA gets another one to go in the paint. That's their 19th offensive rebound. Naismith has that insane putback, which just Mike Breen and the call, they didn't even realize he got it in because it was that just absurd. OKC, look, there's a miss, but then Indy turn it over in the paint. They challenge, and it's game over. Johnny Furphy comes in, gets an and 1, misses the free throw. Mathurin turns it over. You prick. You're breaking my heart at the end. And as I said, it's that run from 8:15 through to 5:08 that just completely sees OKC ratchet up their defense to unforeseen levels, I think, in almost modern NBA. The turnover, another turnover, another turnover, another turnover. And all OKC do is turn all of those fucking turnovers into points, taking a 2-point game to a fucking 16-point game in the blink of a goddamn eye. Absolutely crazy. An 18-4 run in 3 minutes and 8 seconds of game time. Absolutely absurd shit. And your Oklahoma City Thunder are up 3-2 in the NBA Finals. Haliburton is hobbled, and I kind of think the Pacers might be fucked. Yeah. What do you reckon? Let us know. Indy, they end up with 22 turnovers. This is always the fucking key, isn't it? You can't turn the ball over. They started shit. They sort of figured it out a little bit, and they're sort of trying to figure out, like, Haliburton looked tentative to start off with anyway before he got hurt, where it seems like he tweaked his right calf. He goes out. Nembhard is just a bit of a mess. He keeps turning the ball over. Mathurin just is like, all right, it's Ben Mathurin time. And everyone's like, it's not Ben Mathurin. Oh, here he goes again. He's getting blocked. Watch out. And it was just too little, too scrambly, and just not enough like oomph from the Pacers. And I think that was kind of the weird part for me. They were getting absolutely bodied, it felt like, by the Thunder. They're getting out-toughed, out-muscled, outplayed. And if you rewind back to Game 3, it was Indy who was doing that, right? Suddenly it's OKC having taken just the advantage of Haliburton being a little bit hobbled, but also just going, right, well, if you can't play the way you want to play, we're just going to ruin your shit completely. And it's exactly what they did. So 22 turnovers. They shoot 45% from the floor, the Pacers. 11 of 30 from downtown, but only 3 made threes from the bench, who combined to shoot, what was it, 3? Oh, hang on a second. What did the bench shoot from downtown there, Jim? Oh, yeah. Shield. Woo! That's right. The Pacers bench shot 3-11 from downtown. Just not good enough. Benny Mathurin couldn't hit the fucking side of a barn in general. Kept getting his shit blocked. It was horrible. Haliburton, horrible game. Clearly hurt. 0 of 6 from the floor. Brutal gear from him. 6 assists, 3 turnovers, a minus 13 in 34 minutes. They kept attacking him. The Pacers did whatever they could to sort of get him out of defensive action. He's like playing on the Dort in the corner for a lot of this game. And then Dort just ruined his shit up the other way. They just forced the ball out of his hand, made everybody else have a crack, and there was just very little they could do. Siakam was really, really good. 28, 6 and 5 with 3 steals and 2 blocks. But as I said, 3 early turnovers. He finishes with 6 turnovers, goes 9 of 15 from the floor, 3 of 6 from deep. Had a really, really impactful game. And the start of the fourth quarter was huge. Gets them back into it properly. He's the reason they're only down 2 halfway through that. Well, a third of the way through the last quarter. And then they just didn't have that other dude to go with him and help bump them over the top. That's usually going to be Haliburton. He's the clutch type performer. He's banged up. Just couldn't get it done. Turner, 13 and 6, a much better game from him. Actually hit a 3, which was pretty good. Ends up 3 of 5 from the floor, 6 of 7 from the free throw line. Good rebounding numbers. Defensively, though, a little bit of a mess. Like no blocks or anything. And just sort of felt like Chet and Hartenstein were just beating him out. Like they had Tony Bradley come in as well. And you're like, I don't know. Feels like every time Tony Bradley's out on the court, something stupid's going to happen. He ends up in his 12 minutes a +2, does Tony Bradley. But it feels like it was mostly because TJ McConnell took the fucking game over when he was out there. Naismith hit 4 threes. He goes 4 of 5 from deep, has 14 and 6. Nembhard, 7 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists, 3 turnovers, 3 made shots, 0 of 2 on threes. It was a tough Nembhard game. Tough one. It was just the lackluster ball handling stuff, the passing, the loose passing. Some of the defense stuff was pretty good, but SGA still ended up crushing it. He and Naismith just got worked over, I think, by SGA and JW in the end. Toppin, 12 and 4. Ends up with 1 of 5 shooting from 3, though. Like they needed just a couple of extra threes from that bench, whether it be Toppin, whether it be Benny Mathurin. They just didn't have it. It didn't help that Haliburton and Nembhard went 0 of 6 combined from deep as well, right? McConnell went full Indy Dally in that third quarter. He was incredible. Ends up with 18 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 steals, 3 turnovers. Like the travel that he had in the paint was a bit of a rough one, but 8 of 14 shooting overall. What a game. Just carried that team, got them back into it when it could have gone real fucking brutal. And Mathurin, he was a lot of the... he ends up with a decent plus-minus, but I feel like, again, a lot of that was because he was out there with Indy Dally. He shot a brutal 2 of 11 from the floor, 1 of 4 from 3, 8 rebounds, 1 assist, and 7 total points. Anytime you get 7 points on 2 of 11 shooting, it's horrible. There's no other way to put it.
This is horrible. There's no other way to put it.
Still, look, they were there. They were right there. But Mathurin going 2 of 11... The bench shooting 3-11 from downtown, as mentioned, just couldn't quite get him over the hump. Johnny Furphy comes in and scores 2 points, which was awesome. Love that for Tins. Really, really stoked that he's now got more NBA Finals points than Joel Embiid. But still, look, OKC, they went 14 of 32 from downtown. We mentioned that they would bounce back. The regression to the mean, here we are. Boom. They hit 3 threes in game 4. They hit 14 threes on 32 tries in this one. Only 11 turnovers. 45 rebounds. They actually got out-rebounded, but 19 offensive rebounds for OKC. It was massive for them. J-Dub. I feel like I should have been yelling about him even more. Fucking hell. What a game from J-Dub. Jalen WIlliams, you weapon. 40 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists. What a game. 14 of 25 from the floor, 3 of 5 from deep, 9 of 12 at the free throw line. Hit the biggest buckets, the toughest of shots when they needed them. Huge. 31 and 10 for SGA on 9 of 21 shooting. He went to the line 14 times, 13 of 14 there. Chet, 9-11. Went full Haliburton, didn't he? 3 blocks, 4 of 15 shooting for Chet. It was a bit of a weird one. 1 of 3 from deep. Dort hit 3 threes. He had 2 steals and a block, was a plus 14, and just ruined Haliburton's shit. It was unfair. So Haliburton's all banged up, and Dort's like, I'm going to fuck you up, pal. Brutal. Hartenstein, hello, had 4, 8, and 4 in 21 minutes. Was really, really, really solid, I thought. Caruso, rough shooting game for him, but was really amazing elsewhere. He had 4 steals. He's hitting the deck. Case and Wallace was massive as well. 3 of 4 from deep. Hit his first 3 finally in this final series. 11 points and 4 steals. So 4 steals for Caruso, 4 steals for Case and Wallace, 4 threes for Aaron Wiggins. That's your game. That's the game. Your role players, they're your bench step up. Bang, off they go. It's the same like Benny Mathurin going, wha-chow. And what was it, game 3 for the Pacers? They didn't have that today. They got like a bunch out of TJ McConnell, but Caruso, Wallace, and Wiggins. Too bloody good. Role players play better at home. Hey! And Kenrick Williams got out there for 11 minutes as well. But either way, OKC lead 3-2 in your NBA Finals. Let's do an NBA Australia approved performance of the night.
That's not a knife. That's a knife.
J-Dub is a shit nickname. I reckon his nickname should just be motherfucker. Jalen motherfucking Williams. Like, holy shit. What a 40 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists. The best game of his career in a game 5 of the NBA Finals. You are taking the piss. J-Dub. Jalen fucking Williams. He had 40 points in a finals game. You know who didn't score 40 points in a finals game? Larry Bird, Karl Malone, Dirk Nowitzki, Kawhi Leonard, Hakeem Olajuwon. 40 points in a fucking finals game. And the dude's 23. 14 of 25 shooting, 3 of 5 from deep. J-Dub. What a game. But it was like, I don't know how many times you screamed at the tally, he's gonna go left. Stop him from going left. It's like the Pacers fucking defenders are just blind. It's like, hey, where do you think J-Dub's gonna go? I reckon, because every time he goes left, I reckon this time he might go fucking left. What do you think? Guess what? He's gonna throw up another high looping layup off the glass and it's gonna go in. Do something, Indy. Seriously, the amount of times where it's like, cool, the help defender's going to be, oh, wait, he's already 2 steps behind him and they're not doing anything. Fuck. Is there going to be help from the court? No, he's already passed it. Boom. It was, not great from the Pacers. Yes. But anyway, Jalen motherfucking Williams, awesome game. He was unreal. Hot, goddamn diggity dog. Dominating performance. Lit him up. Fucked Indy up. And they won because of him. He was absolutely incredible. Like, honorable mention to SGA, who played a fantastic game, but it was nowhere near as good as how good J-Dub was. He's hitting mid-ranges and never looked like missing. Every time he drove, you're like, that's just going to go in this time. And it's probably going to be an and one because they don't know how to defend him properly. And boom, he ends up with 40 points in 35 minutes. We have a stat on that later in the Andrew Gaze Graham Mamba Award, hashtag spoiler alert. How about Spud of the night, Jim?
Spud, 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 it is Spud of the night.
Spud of the night. It's pretty hard to call Tyrese Haliburton the Spud of the night considering he was obviously injured. But for the first time in his playoff career, he didn't hit a shot from the floor. So he gets, 4 total points, 4 of 4 at the free throw line, 0 of 6 shooting, 0 of 4 from deep, 6 assists, 3 turnovers, clearly hampered by that calf injury. It's kind of just hard to lay it on him, but it didn't help, right? He is injured. It happens. Mathurin, brutal game from him. 2 of 11 shooting. And wow, that final fucking turnover just to make sure they didn't cover. I said in game 4, he's gone full Jonte Porter. Did he bet on his own under? Maybe. Did he bet on OKC at the line? Maybe. Either way, Mathurin, brutal game from him. It felt like every time he went into the paint, he got blocked. It was bizarre to watch. So, rough one for him. And Caruso, as I mentioned, 1 of 8 shooting for Caruso, but he did have 2 points and 4 fucking steals, however. And a block, I think. Like, he caused all sorts of goddamn havoc. Caruso, 4 steals and a block, only 1 turnover. Just, he was everywhere. But 1 of 8 shooting was still pretty bad. Who's old mate, no mates?
Old mate, no mates. Old mate, no mates.
Old mate, no mates.
Old mate, no mates.
Old mate, no mates.
Old mate, no mates.
Who's got no mates today? I mean, Haliburton getting roasted. I don't know what the fuck is going on with the horrible, horrible halftime show that ESPN are rolling out there. We've just got Stephen A. and Kendrick Perkins just fucking screaming over the top of each other about, you gotta sit Haliburton. You gotta sit him. He's gotta get out of here. He can't play. We gotta sit him. It's like, what the fuck are you talking about? Yeah, he's not good. But if he can move the ball and he wants to play, he's your superstar. What are you going to do, win without him? TJ McConnell can't play the entire second half. And then poor Bob Myers is up there trying to like give rational fucking takes and just like, talk good basketball shit and just getting out-yelled. It's a fucking train wreck. And same with Doris and fucking Richard Jefferson and Mike Breen. That is, there is like no chemistry on that calling team, is there? It's fucked. Anyway, old mate, no mates is Kevin Durant. You might remember him from, I was talking about him earlier. Apparently he wanted to go to the New York Knicks. And the Knicks apparently have no interest in bringing him in. They're like, look, you're going to do your thing. You're a bit too aged for what we want to do. And we're not that interested. We're real sorry, Kevin, but thanks, but no thanks. This is 100% of old mate, no mates. Like, this is KD going, remember how I was like talking shit about the Knicks when I like joined Brooklyn? It's like, the Knicks, they're just not the cool place to be right now. It's like, well, they are kind of now, and you came a begging, and they told you to go get fucked. That's just some classic old mate, no mates. And it's getting to a point with Kevin Durant where the Wolves are like, if he doesn't want to stick around for a couple of years, we don't want him. We're not going to trade for him. The Knicks are like, fuck off, nerd. He's basically just like, will San Antonio have me? It's like, yes. It's like, okay, I'll go there. Definitely some old mate, no mates vibes. Otherwise, who got the pantsing of the night? Oh, poor Benny Mathurin. The amount of times he got blocked, it was absolutely brutal today. Naismith absolutely yamming one, however, on Chet with that absurd putback was pretty fucking gnarly. Benny Mathurin also got Caruso with a pretty amazing chase down block, which is very, very, very good. So I guess it's kind of like back and forth with Mathurin where he's like pantsed himself, pants Caruso, but also kind of getting pants. Like the turnovers, the block shots. Wasn't great. That entire game felt like a bit of a pantsing of Ben Mathurin, just saying. And they need more from him, right? With Haliburton injured, it's like you just need that little bit of extra creation off the ball. Like Naismith and Nembhard, they're fine, but that's not quite their game. Mathurin's your slashing scorer, dude. What are you doing, Benny? What are you doing? Not quite up to snuff against this insane OKC defense. And finally, better than Bronny James, Ben Simmons, and Lonzo Ball.
Lonzo was the best player in high school. He was the best player in college. You think he'll get to the pros and be like, I made it to the pros, now I can be average. He's coming for everybody.
Coming for everybody. Johnny fucking Furphy. That's right, old mate Tins. Our mate Froths scores 2 points in a brief little cameo at the end of the game. 1 minute, 1 of 1 from the floor. 2 points. He was a +2. You beauty. 0 of 1 from the free throw line. But of course, his 2 points in the NBA Finals means that he has scored more Finals points than Ben Simmons, Bronny James, and Lonzo Ball combined. That's right. Johnny Furphy, the real GOAT. Actual also better than Bronny James, Ben Simmons, Lonzo Ball, Aaron Wiggins, Case and Wallace. Amazing work by both those role players today, I thought. Wiggins I sort of said on yesterday's show, right? Like the Wheel of Fortune of death of the OKC role players, it'll come up. 2 of them will go off. It wasn't Caruso in this game. It was Wiggins and Wallace. Boom. They scored 25 points between them. And that's the difference. They hit 7 threes. They crushed it. It was awesome. 5 rebounds as well for Aaron Wiggins. 4 of 7 from deep. 3 of 4 from downtown for Case and Wallace. Huge stuff there. All better than Bronny James, Ben Simmons, and Lonzo Ball. And TJ McConnell, Indy Delhi, out of nowhere. 18 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists. He was awesome. Caused all sorts of havoc and dragged that Pacers team back into the game. What a legend. What a moment. What a run that was. That game was awesome. Until Indy ran into that OKC brick wall and gave up the ghost. Righto. So 3-2. Here we are. Let's go do some yeah-nahs right after this.
This is Cam Glidden.
This is Anthony Drimmick.
This is Mitch McCarron.
This is Jason Kadee.
This is Darryl McDonald.
Hey guys, this is Hugh Greenwood.
Yo, what's going on? This is Illy.
This is Mark Worthington, or commonly known as Wortho, and you're listening to NBA Australia.
You listen to NBA Australia.
And you're listening to NBA Australia.
And you're listening to NBA
And you're
Australia.
listening to NBA Australia.
You're listening to NBA Australia.
And you're listening to NBA Australia.
You're listening to NBA Australia.
All right, let's do some yeah-nahs brought to you by you. That's right, you. That's right, the link is in our bio for shouting us a beer, shouting us a coffee. Thanks to all the legends who are already signed up. If you sign up to the Dead Set Legends tier, you do get a unique original podcast each month extra on top of all the other stuff that I do. So go sign up. The link is in our bio. You can shout us a beer, shout us a coffee. Go check it out. Very much appreciated to all the legends who have already signed up. You all fucking rule. I love your guts. It is awesome. Thank you so much. Go check it out. The link is in our bio. Shout us a coffee. Shout us a beer if you want. Appreciate you. Right. Some yeah-nahs. Is Houston KD's best chance at winning another title? Yeah, nah. Yeah, I kind of think it is, right? Like the Spurs, Wemby, the rest of that crew, it feels like they're good. Real good. I watch OKC and you sort of just go, Jesus fucking Christ. Like, whose defense will even have a chance at trying to stop this Thunder team or this Pacers team, like whoever they'd sort of match up against in the finals. But obviously you're going to go through OKC if you're in the West. And Houston, as long as they have Tari Eason, Amen Thompson, and Dylan Brooks, you've got KD out there, you've got Big Steven Adams, bro. You've got Fred VanVleet if they bring him back. Who knows if Jabari and Jalen or whatever are there. But it feels like the defensive young perimeter group that they have is a thing that could feasibly match up okay-ish against OKC if you add Kevin Durant and his scoring to it. So I feel like that above the Spurs, probably even above Minnesota, where it's just what they have to give up to go get him might leave them sort of still a little bit bereft, whereas Houston's just got this treasure trove of shit. So, I don't know, it feels like Houston probably is the best bet. Outside of that, maybe the Knicks, but again, what are you giving up to get him? Right? It's just a bit weird. So I feel like Houston, because the way this playoffs has gone, the way these finals have gone, you've just gotten to this point where you just got to ask yourself, could we even fucking have a hope of matching up against this team when you look at OKC and you go, unless we've got 2 elite perimeter defenders, probably fucking not. You're seeing Indy sort of just, and talk about actually a bit of creation as well, right? Trying to get past OKC's defenders. KD, adding him to that sort of willing group there in Houston, maybe that does help. I reckon that's probably their best chance. But again, at the same time, Wemby could be ready to take that fucking absolute elite leap next year. You put Kevin Durant next to him and who knows what could happen. Anyway, Matty Boo! He was like, this is my response to my daughter on the jar trade request. I thought it was pretty accurate and worth a share. What the? Dude can't stay on the court with injury and waving guns around. Sixers will probably trade Maxey, Grimes, TikTok Maxi, which is Jared McCain. That's fucking funny. And our first to get him so we can not take the court with Embiid and Paul George also not taking the court. Then we'll build with more injury-prone veterans to shore up the bench. I love that. Jar on the Sixers to go with Embiid and Paul George, and none of them ever play is fucking brilliant. I love that. And you'll end up with like Kyle Lowry still on the bench somehow. It's like, how is he playing? What is happening? I love that. Jar to the Sixers. Maxey, Grimes, TikTok Mac. Calling Jared McCain TikTok Maxey just makes me fucking every time. And they're first. Just saying. Ja Morant on the Sixers. It's pretty fucking funny. But that's a great one. So many injuries. They just never play together. They'd be the new KD, Kyrie, and Harden. I asked yesterday, what do we think about the Orlando trading for Desmond Bane? Was it an overpay? The resounding was yeah. Seriously, like everybody's jumped on KCP and Anthony plus maybe a first, not 4. David S. Ben L said, good player, and the Magic were able to move along KCP and Anthony, but too much given in draft picks. Blake L, I wouldn't swap KCP and Cole for Bane, let alone 4 first-rounders. That's madness. Jesus. Greg R, is this a joke? 4 first-rounders? Massive overpay, especially when you consider what the Mavs got for Luka. Michael L. Yeah, Orlando fleeced, though. I don't think they'll complain too much about the draft picks. Campbell B. As a Magic fan, I'm excited for this. I've been saying for years that Bane will be the perfect fit for our team. Yes, we've overpaid, but not massively. Bane probably worth 2 picks. Plus, you need to throw an extra pick in for them to take on KCP's contract. 3 picks would have been ideal instead of 4, but you need to take a risk to go to the next level. Charles, love that one. And going off what Bane and Doncic were traded for, Bane is about 3 to 4 times better than Doncic. Albie Chin. Look, 4 first when you sort of see that sticker price, yeah, it's a lot. It is a lot. Only 3 of them are yours though, right? You do have a swap in there too. But remember, if you're good, you keep your pick if you're better than the other team. I still think Bane is a huge fix for what plagued Orlando. The thing is, can they sort of still build, like the money is just going to be the thing. But I think as I said on yesterday's show, I think a lot of their contracts start at their highest prices and then sort of also sort of peter off a couple of them. So we'll see what happens. Well, at least when they go up, they're still within the realms of like not massive raises. I think that's what it was. And so the 10% raise in the salary cap year on year should probably help you here. But yeah, I think for Orlando is just a swing. It's like, fuck it. Paolo's good. Franz is good. Suggs is good. We need 3-point shooting. Bane's perfect for this. Let's go. Extra bit of playmaking. Extra bit of shot making. Love it. See what happens. So otherwise. Then the final one, obviously. Can Indy force a Game 7? Yeah, not with Haliburton banged up. It's exactly what the problem is. Right? Game 6 will be the battle of the role players anyway. Like who shows up, who doesn't. And I guess that's kind of an unpopular opinion of the day.
Now look at me, please. Look at me. Look at me. Look at me.
OKC's role players, like despite like TJ McConnell and Obi Toppin outscoring the role players of the Thunder today, I think, right? Yeah, so 25 points for Wiggins and Wallace, and you get 30 points from McConnell and Toppin. The problem is you got a banged up Haliburton who can't do anything. Nembhard couldn't hit a shot, and their starters weren't good enough. Like, that was a great mix for OKC today. Their stars and their role players all played really fucking well. So, like, the only thing is Haliburton is absolutely the straw that stirs the Indy drink. And if he's on one fucking leg, it's just impossible against this OKC defense to see them forcing a Game 7. Like, unless, and that's kind of it, right? The battle of the role players. If Naismith hits 6 threes, if Nembhard can do a decent job of like filling in for Haliburton, if TJ McConnell can do what he did again today, if Siakam can score 40, maybe they got a shot at forcing Game 7. But it's a minuscule chance. And it'll be one of those ones where when we get to the pick in a second, yeah, doesn't look great for Indy, just saying. But how would we fix that, Jim? Let's go into Outback Takehouse. It's Tuesday at Outback, and you know what that means. Oh, yeah, Kookaburra wings. That's right. Dropping the squids off this morning at bloody, daycare and then school. All we heard this morning was bang! That's right. The cricket bats out the side of the car, taking out the kookaburras on the way, chucked them in the back of the old Subi and boom. Brought them home, get the wings out, chuck them on there, on the barbie, slow cook them, and you got kookaburra wings. It's a great special and it's only at Outback. And today's Flame Grill take is the only way the Pacers are going to win game 6 and force a game 7 is if they dress up Caitlin Clark as Ben Shepherd or Johnny Furphy and let her fucking rip. Only at Outback. Hear me out. You know me. If you've listened to this show for years, I still reckon that Markeith and Marcus Morris kept switching time and time and time again. Johnny Furphy has a luscious head of hair. If you found, and he's quite white, let's all be honest here, right? If you found a Johnny Furphy-esque wig, and out the back, you're sort of like, hey, Caitlin, you want to run out there and see what could happen? A, she would fucking love it. B, you can't tell me this is the greatest Trojan horse surprise attack in the fucking history of the world where OKC's like, why are they starting Johnny Furphy? And she's all like, ha ha ha, motherfuckers, check this out. Caitlin Clark up against the Oklahoma City Thunder. Let's make it happen. Fuck yes. I'm all about this. Desperate times, desperate measures. Caitlin Clark in a Johnny Furphy wig. Let's do it. Let's force game 7. Come on. Alternately, if that happens, Indy in 7, she could be an NBA and a WNBA champion in her career, which would be incredible. Well, she's got to win an WNBA title first, but still. The other Outback Takehouse is OKC should build around J-Dub because he's younger and better than SGA. Right. NBA Australian Player Watch. Johnny Furphy, that's right, gets out there for another run in the NBA Finals after his little Game 2 cameo. This time scores some points. Love that for him. 1 minute, 1 of 1 from the floor, 2 points. Yo, beauty. He had 1 rebound in Game 2. Scores a bucket, misses the free throw, unfortunately, in Game 5. But still, good to see him out there. Love that for him. Johnny Furphy, NBA Finals legend right now. All right, Andrew Gaze Graham Mamba Award for Outstanding Team in the Field of Excellence.
Andrew Gaze Grey Mamba.
Outstanding achievement here.
All right, let's do it. Hey, J-Dub is pretty fucking good, hey? Jalen motherfucking WIlliams. That was the quickest 40-point game in NBA Finals history ahead of Giannis and Kobe. Seriously, 40 points. He did it in 35 minutes. Giannis and Kobe did it in 38. 9 of 16 shooting in the paint. 9 of 12 free throws. 2 of 4 mid-ranges. 3 of 5 from deep. Awesome shooting game. 4 assists, 1 turnover. 9th NBA player with 40-plus points without more than 1 turnover. So he had 1 turnover. So without multiple turnovers, there's only 9 players who've ever done that in NBA Finals history. J-Dub's there. That's awesome. He's also the youngest player to score 40 in a Finals game since Rusty did it back in 2012. And then Magic was the one before that in 1980. Bloody hell. So J-Dub's 24, 23, 24. That is absolutely incredible. And SGA, honorable mention. So he is now gone for the most 30.5 assist games in a single playoff run with 12. That's the most ever in a single playoff run. He's gone past Michael Jordan in 1990 and LeBron James in 2018. Bloody hell. That's pretty good as well, SGA. But how's J-Dub? What a bloody game. Seriously. What's that, the 3rd youngest of all time to score 40 in a Finals game? Jesus. All right, Patty Mills Game Day Baller Game Day Twitter check-in. What's Patty been up to? Oh, there we go. Patty. Need a DJ name, says Patty. Yo, been DJing a little bit on the side, little side hobby. Loving it. Started in the backyard. Done some little gigs here and there. But on the weekend, I just opened for a legend. Collie buds. Crowd was vibing. Sun was setting. It was definitely a moment. But get this. I don't even have a DJ name yet. He's got to be DJ Thrills. What are we doing? I don't know if that exists, but Patty Mills, one of the great Instagram follows. Right, we were going to do the great moment in NBA Australia stat history of his incredible closeout game, but I think because we're going to closeout game probably coming along this week, we might do that on our preview show on Thursday. So bear with us. We'll do the Patty Mills closeout 2014 game. But before we do that, let's do a game preview. Game preview. Game preview. Thanks, Inadvertent Bane. Not a problem, Jim. How's it all going? Oh, not bad. Would have been a bit happier if Benny Matherin hadn't turned that last ball over and just scored. Bloody hell. But anyway, the Thunder are 4.5-point road favourites against the Pacers for Friday's Game 6. And I think we've picked the Pacers in all these games except for Game 2 this series. And I think this is the time that we'd probably take the Thunder minus 4.5. Obviously, I had the Pacers in 6 going into the series. That can't happen now. Pacers to win the series is still like pretty interesting, but with Haliburton sort of obviously banged up a little bit, the obvious pick at the moment is the Thunder minus 4.5. Haliburton does have 2 days off fully now because it's Tuesday. We don't play again until Friday. So by the time we do our Thursday preview show, we might know a little bit more about how his calf is doing. So if he is fine and they've, checked it, there's no problems, he's feeling pretty good, he feels like 90%, maybe we're swinging back around to the Pacers plus 4.5 at that point, but we'll get to that on Thursday. For the minute, I think it's Thunder minus 4.5, and they close it out on the road. Oh boy, doesn't make me feel very good though. Remember, you can follow all the vibes that we have for all these games over at Dabble. Use the code NBA Australia. The link is in our bio as well. And it's also the link is in our show description too, if you're looking in the podcast app, etc. So go check that out. Plenty in today's ones. A couple of them just missed too. Obi Toppin. Where was that second three? He had 2 threes that rattled in and out and broke my heart. But either way, Miles Turner would have been good for him to hit a couple more as well. But still, here we are. What do we think about Game 6? Minus 4.5. The Thunder. It sort of feels like they've got another really, really good game in them. It just feels more replicable. And people going into this going, I just can't see the Thunder beating the Pacers 3 straight times. It's like, why the fuck not? Right? After Game 4, where Indy, it did feel in the moment like they had just blown their best chance of going up 3-1 in the finals. Who knows what would happen there with his Haliburton's injury and stuff, but still, it did feel like a bit of a moment to not score a field goal in the final 3 minutes 20 of Game 4. That might be what sinks this Pacers team, and I feel like it will. So I think we're going to go Thunder minus 4.5 for Friday at the moment. But yeah, it's pretty fun. I get to have a Game 6, maybe a closeout on my birthday. Happy days. Happy birthday to me, Jim. But either way, we'll be back on, Thursday to do a preview show. So we'll take tomorrow off. That'll be fun. And otherwise, that's it. There you go. What a game that was. That was a really entertaining game today, wasn't it? Game 5, sort of back and forth, trying to figure shit out. And then OKC just gave him the clamps. You want me to use these clamps? Use them every day of my freaking life, you freaking moron. Anyway, we'll be back on Thursday for a big preview show. We'll do the great moment in NBA Australia stat history of Patty Mills as well. We might get a guest on for that show, just saying. Either way, we'll do a video as well leading up to it. So make sure you're following NBA Australia on Twitter, Facey, IG, TikTok, and YouTube. Send us through some nars as well for the Thursday show. Tell us what you reckon. Make sure you check us a rating and review on your podcast app as well. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube Music, whatever app you're using your Android phone. It does help. Get right around it. Big thanks always go to From Oslo for the intro and outro song, They Rule. So to House Hats, Joshua De Laurentiis, Fascinated Gold Mines, Ramshackle Army, Iowa, Section I, Green, and Dozers. They're behind all the tunes you hear throughout the show, so smash them all in Bandcamp. Spotify, Apple Music, all the good stuff. NBA Australia supports Australian bands. So should you. All right, that's it. We'll get out of here, and we will catch you on Thursday, you dickheads. This is NBA Australia saying, look after yourselves, would ya? And later, Jose! Come on, baby. G'day, legends. Your mate Jim from NBA Straya here. That's right, I'm doing a thing at the end of the show. In the business, we call it a thing at the end of the show, I guess. I don't know. Either way, all I'm just saying is just make sure you're rating, reviewing, starring, subscribing across all of the apps that you use for NBA Straya. Jump in the comments, give us a shout. We'll bang you in, yeah, nahs. Any other questions? I'll have a crack. I've got nothing better to do, basically. Also, just ask any questions, tell me what you want to hear from the show, and sing out and let us know. And of course, if you want to help support the show, jump on the old dabble, use that code NBA Australia, click on the link that's in the show description or on the socials. It goes up whenever I do the morning vibes, etc. So if that's your thing, jump on there, use that code NBA Australia, and remember, look after yourselves, would you?